Let's see. Am I live already? Can you guys hear me? There's always a struggle getting this thing started for me. Once I start doing it more regularly, though, I think it'll probably be a lot easier. Let me get a response in the chat if there's anybody there. Let me know what you guys are seeing. Check this out. There we go. Alright, we are live. We are talking. We are audible. How is the music? Got my Christmas trap music going again. Hope you guys get down with that as much as I do. Got the headphones in, so that hopefully this time we don't have the feedback. I don't know if anybody here remembers that from last year. It was quite brutal. But we're getting better here. We're figuring this stuff out. Alright, cool. Alright, well, I overworked myself, I guess, with... Oh, let me bring the mic up here. How's my sound? I had the mic down on the desk. I got my wife got me this cool standing desk thing since I'm always over here. I just left it the way it was for this live stream here. Yeah. So I wanted to do this as a live stream because it's week 16. There's a lot going on, a lot of holiday stuff going on right now. The mock draft came out yesterday or 2 days ago. And that took a lot of the time that I usually spend prepping for these pick'ems, and with the graphics and stuff. So I wanted to just go ahead, do this on Christmas Eve. Felt like a good time to knock this out. I figure there's a lot of stuff going on for a lot of people, so not everybody's gonna have a chance to watch this week's. So we just do a live stream. Babies are asleep, they're taking a bath. My wife's giving them a bath right now. They're gonna take a nap, and then we're gonna go over to her parents' house for Christmas Eve dinner. So yeah, you guys got me this whole nap time here, so I'm going to go through all these picks. I'm going to do the recap like we usually do. And then this is kind of a test or a trial run for potentially next year. So that I can potentially add more graphics. I'd love to use the graphics that I made for this year and just create them and export them and then just use them on a loop throughout here. Get my streaming game, step my streaming game up a little bit so that we can do some video production on the go rather than me sitting around and overanalyzing things and tweaking things to every single little detail and stuff like that. So, and then at the end of this, we're going to go over some playoff scenarios. I forgot to pull that up. I'm going to pull up playoffpredictors.com. Love this site, man. Let's do current standings, and we'll get to that at the end. And I will, go over you guys' questions and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and be in the zone. I haven't actually analyzed this week's games too much. So you guys are going to see my stuff with the, as I'm walking through it in my own mind here. Yeah, and then we'll do some questions and stuff, and then just talk about stuff. So I hope everybody's doing well. Merry Christmas to you guys. Let's see. Mr. New Frontier, appreciate you responding to me. Bald on Live, what's up? Right, Chahale, I don't know how to say that, but appreciate you being the first one in. Military McNally, Merry Christmas. I'm glad you made it too. Armball, what's up, man? Didn't make a PowerPoint this time because you called me out last time. So yeah, I pulled out my old. I made this overlay a long time ago. One of the things I'd like to do for the future is to have. I don't really like doing a power rankings video. I would spend way too much time trying to do this chart with ups and downs and who's hot, who's cold, and stuff like that. I'd love to make just a little chart on this. One of the sides of the columns here have just a scrolling power rankings and stuff like that for maybe next year. Let's see, Pat, you're already spoiling picks here. Oh, that's a good idea, Armball. Show the leaders and stats. I was going to use this to go over, but I guess we could do this too here. This is just like such an awesome site. Oh, you guys can see all of my... Oh, no, you can't. Perfect. And then we'll go over the draft order since there were still so many complainers on the mock draft about the actual draft and the order. So you can take a peek at that and see how that works out. But yeah, so this is the Tally site. This is a site that they contacted me last year. This isn't paid or anything like that or promoted. It's just a site that compiles a bunch of different people's picks and predictions and stuff like that, and kind of gives you previews and stuff of what other people are saying, and then it grades people's IQ based on their picks. As you can see, they're pretty harsh. I'm not even going to criticize on old Cynthia Freeland, who uses mostly math and analytics and stuff, which is a pretty unique approach to making picks and stuff, but obviously it's not paying off for her because her IQ is pretty low, but my IQ's on here is not very good either. I think I mentioned before, every time I make my picks, it seems, or every time I remember to put my picks on this website, they always bomb, and every time I forget, I always do really well. So, oh, here you go. My IQ, wow. Okay, oh, that's my week 15 IQ. This is a 69, nice. Didn't even do that on purpose. But my overall is right there with everybody else's. I don't know why I can't see it. There he is. Oh. Okay. I'm a genius. Sorry. Was wrong. Alright, I swear to God, I thought it was like 50. It was 50 the last time I checked. I wish I knew more about what was going on with that and how they calculated that, because it really doesn't you guys can't even see it. Here you go. Proof. Bam. I'm a genius. But yeah, so let's go over these. So I have a few notes, but not a lot. Because like I said, I was really focused on... Oh, man, I totally forgot to tell you guys. Holy crap. Okay, literally, holy crap. So I'm working on it's the 21st, so it's the day that, black people are supposed to get their superpowers and whatnot. I was waiting for at least half of my superpowers, and I'm coming, Pat. I'm coming. I had a scene from Christmas Vacation where he's like, "Shitter's full." Like, I was gonna use that to tease this story, and I was struggling with the creative aspect of all the like GIFs and memes and stuff that I use, and I was like, I gotta shake this morning crust off. So I was like, let me go take a shower. So I take a nice long shower, shave, I do all my business in there. I come out, I'm like, man, I feel rejuvenated, ready to go. My shower is over here, right? And my laundry room is right across the hallway in the basement here. And the door was open, and I look in, and I walk past, I'm in my towel or whatever, and I look in, and I'm like, what is all over my floor? And apparently my house that I live in has a grinder pump, which I didn't even know what it was. And it is basically all of your sewage and stuff goes away from your house into this grinder pump. It grinds it all up, and then it ships it up to... It's because we're kind of low. We're lower than the level here, the sewage level. And so it pumps it up, so it grinds it up so that it's nice and easy to move and stuff. And so it broke. It backed up or whatever, and all of a sudden it came up into our house, and our whole laundry room had this like brown, like coffee grind water all over the floor. And so that was my original plan was to have the video out Mock Draft Monday. I've always wanted to get a video out on Mock Draft Monday, and this just didn't allow it. So So that was what happened. That was why the mock draft was a little bit later than I wanted it to be, but there's kind of an echo. All right, let me try to fix that. Let's turn the gain down. Why can't I hear myself? I guess that would be weird, right? Here we go. Oh, wow. That's quite the echo. Let me fix this here. Now I can hear myself. Testing. And there's no background music. Where's my background music, man? And that's why I needed to do this here, so you guys can help me figure things out. That's weird. I've never had that before, I feel like, but could be wrong. There we go. At least that will now distract a little bit from the echo, but it's quite delayed too from what I'm hearing. All right, is that tolerable? I wonder if it's because of my headphones. Let me take them out. Let's see if it fixes. You guys will have to let me know though, okay? All right. Shadow, Strife, family is good, man. Where everybody's getting, we had a cold run through here. My wife, of course, every single time somebody gets a stuffy nose or a runny nose or coughs, she's freaking out that it's COVID, so. After our one scare, the very following weekend, she was doing it again, and I was like, I looked at her dead in her eyeballs. I was like, please, let's not do this every weekend. Like, if we get it, we get it. Like, we just gotta go on, man. All right, let me know how the echo is. I took my headphones out. I don't want to do the old reverb here, so I'm just gonna go with it, and hopefully the music drowns out the echo, and then I'll have to look that up and figure out what I was doing there. But first up, we got a lot of football days here. Wait. Interesting. See, this is how little I've looked at the schedule this week. I actually thought there was a game tonight. We're doing it on Christmas night instead. That's weird and questionable, but here we go. We've got Friday, Vikings at Saints. One thing I heard was Kirk Cousins mentioning that the final fourth down to when the game's on the line, he said he dropped back, and while he's dropping back, he's thinking about all of the opportunities that they had missed up until that point. And I just felt like that was so Kirk Cousins-y, and kind of sums up that like sort of people that don't have that killer instinct, that Black Mamba mindset when you're going into the final game, that thing that Tom Brady has been so good at doing his entire career, and Kirk Cousins has never had that. And it's part of the reason that I don't really like guys like that as a quarterback. I want a dude that can play like shit the whole game, and then at the very end pull it all together, and do what needs to be done to win the game. Kirk Cousins is a guy where he's going to win the game for you from quarters 1 to 3, but in the fourth quarter, I mean, that's just not going to be his moment to shine. This game is interesting. Last week, I was not expecting Drew Brees to come in. I picked them as my upset over the Chiefs. I got a rusty old Drew Brees coming in. I think that it's pretty obvious that he's going to be much better going forward. Let's see. I didn't do scores and stuff. I didn't prepare scores and stuff like that because I was just trying to prepare all of the stuff on the screen for you to make it look as interesting as possible. And then I'm going to play with sort of animations and stuff. Like I said, I want to get my helmets that I've spent a lot of time designing and stuff like that. I want to get that still incorporated and still have that on the screen. So hopefully I can do that. I definitely would think that the Saints could win at home here by more than a touchdown, and I do think that this could be a high-scoring one. So it could be a trap. I hear you, Shadow. It could be a trap game, but I think that last week's opportunity, they played actually pretty well. They pulled it together after it looked like the Chiefs were about to blow them out, but I think that they can pull it together and refocus now that everyone knows that Drew Brees will be the quarterback heading into the game all week long. I think it'll settle down everybody on the team a little bit. So let me make sure I've got that picked up over here. Cool. All right, and then we'll add that in. We'll do all of those at the end. All right, and then we've got the Buccaneers and the Lions. Another thing I heard was the Lions fired their special teams coordinator because he went rogue and called a fake punt. How do you even have the ability to call a fake punt like that and have it actually go through? But yeah, he apparently called a rogue fake punt, and yeah, this one's pretty easy. I think I wish it was easier said than done. Like, I wish I felt 99% sure about this, but the Bucs, man, they're a weird team. Like, Tom Brady is weird. The Bucs just in general are just a fucking weird team right now. I would have been more afraid of this game with Matt Patricia still around to potentially, know the quirks of Tom Brady to give him a hard time. But ball don't lie, there's no Saints slander. They just they're struggling. It's Drew Brees. I'm not a big Drew Brees fan, but back to this one. I would have been, like I said, I would have been more afraid of Matt Patricia in this game, actually. But I'm gonna go with them blowing him out a little bit, because I think that is Darrell Bevell gonna even be on the sidelines? I know I heard something about him having a close contact. Let's look that up real quick. Because if the interim head coach can't even be there, he's out. So their wide receiver coach, Robert Prince, is gonna fill in as the head coach. So that's a weird situation. They're on their third head coach, their third string head coach here. I don't know how I feel about that. So I think we can do blowout on this one. All right, and high scoring or not, it's indoors. Buccaneers have a lot of offensive weapons. Let's go high scoring. All right, 49ers, Cardinals. Do I have anything for this? Oh, this is the Josh Rosen game. Yes, this is actually awesome. I've been a big Josh Rosen fan for a while. I think that he is a underrated dude. And this is like as good of an opportunity as he's going to get for his future. I mean, if he can't win with Kyle Shanahan scheming him stuff up, he's not gonna. He doesn't even have to win. He just needs to play well. If he doesn't play well, then I don't know what I saw at UCLA. But I think that the 49ers can lose this game. Josh Rosen can still play well, and potentially set himself up to take. Is he playing? Ball don't lie. Why do I keep seeing yours and not anybody else's? Arm ball. I will get to you guys. Let's save. Try to save the questions, or else my ADD brain, I'll end up reading every single. I got this. I turned my old computer or my old screen sideways, so I'm vertical. I got the chat up vertically. I can literally see up to the first comment all the way down. It's a little small though, but. Yeah, let's save. Unless you have something that I really need to see, mention me in it. Otherwise, I'm gonna try and hold the answering of the questions and stuff to the end, or else I will just completely get off track. You guys will be really annoyed with my ADD brain. That's why I usually have to write everything down and prep. I'm not trying to. Last week was upset week. I knew that there were a lot of upsets. I got the wrong upsets in my picks. But we're going to play it a little bit safer this week. But yeah, I think that let's look up Josh Rosen. I'm pretty sure he was playing, right? Oh no, I'm wrong. I'm an idiot. Sorry. It's what's his name is still playing. Old Beat Hard. CJ Beathard. But he could potentially get an opportunity. That's what I meant to say. He could potentially get an opportunity to play. Wow, I just Googled Rosen, and people ask, is Rosen a word? That's one of the top things. So he's not starting this week. Sorry. He's not starting this week, but the opportunity for him to potentially play, if not this week, next week, just to see what he's got, or even just to get in the building with Kyle Shanahan. If Kyle Shanahan sees something that he likes, and these guys have an opportunity to grow together, Rosen could potentially be a steal for them. And who knows if you then bring Garoppolo back next year and keep both of them, and then you have multiple options. Or, you let Garoppolo go, you bring Rosen in as a potential backup bridge guy, bring a rookie in, and then see what you got. But yeah, let's keep going here. All right, well, then we've got the Dolphins and the Raiders. I actually had a whole thing written up about the Raiders due to the fact that they were on Thursday night last week and let us all down against the Chargers. Derek Carr, he's still out, right? It's gonna be Marcus Mariota this week, right? Oh no, now he is expected to start. Wow, that sucks. All right, well, I kind of wanted to see Marcus Mariota one more time, but it looks like he's going to be the backup again. Derek Carr is expected to start 4 hours ago. Sportsline says it. ESPN said it 17 hours ago. So there you go. But I really enjoyed watching him. Although I felt like we got the full Marcus Mariota experience in that game because of the fact that you got to see all the athleticism. But then just as quickly as I looked at him and saw how exciting and how high the ceiling potential there was for Mariota, just as quickly I realized that he lacks that killer instinct that I was talking about. He's a quarterback, he's a first quarter through third quarter quarterback, and in the fourth quarter he doesn't want the game to be on his shoulders at the end. He wants to play well enough earlier in the game so that he can just get through to the end, win the game by just handing it off. I don't think is the echo back? Sorry, J Love. Not really sure what to do about that, to be honest. I don't know if it's a connection issue or just my room in general, but I'm gonna try. Maybe if I back it up a little bit, I'm gonna try to fix it for future reference. I want to do this a lot more in the off season, potentially, maybe even a weekly show. I want to do next year. All right, so sorry, ADD brain. I told you. Next year we are putting the twins into daycare at least a few days a week, and so I'm gonna drive them to school, to a daycare, assuming everything's clean and good to go. Drive them to school for a few days a week. Come back here and literally just be down here chilling. And so I'm going to use that as an opportunity. I'd love to just do this and do this walkthrough, and instead of me sitting alone and researching this stuff, we all just sit around and either do this kind of stuff and go over the picks and work through them as a group, to sort of pick who we want, help our fantasy teams. Back to the story here. I do think that the Dolphins are a much better team than the Raiders right now. I think the Raiders could be really good next year, but I think that as of right now, they are not as good. And that what was it with, it was a groin, right? That was a really weird injury for Derek Carr. Just like he was like jogging and then just all of a sudden pulled his groin. So it's kind of amazing that he's even playing. It's weird. I kind of felt like he was like faking it a little bit. I don't know why. And I know that there's that Mariota like bonus or whatever that he could potentially get. Like, what if he said, "Hey, Marcus, we're not gonna make the playoffs, man. Like, I'm gonna pretend to pull my groin. You come in, play, get your bonus, and I obviously I don't actually think that that's what happened. But I remember in the moment being like, that was a very bizarre groin injury. Like I feel like I've never seen somebody pull their groin in such a gentle fashion. But yeah, Dolphins win that one. Let's go Giants and Ravens. Ravens look like they're back on track. Is Daniel Jones starting, or is it going to be Colt McCoy again? Let's see. Should be Colt McCoy. I mean, we'll see. Let's see. They are preparing both. So, honestly, I don't feel like it really matters that much. Does anybody out here know? I mean, I was kidding about saying that he was faking it. Like, it was such a light jog that he just, and he didn't even really, like, a pulled groin is a painful injury, and you don't just come back a week later from pulling or straining your groin. But hey, who is this guy to know medical facts from? Yeah. But anyways, so Ravens will probably win this one pretty handedly, whether or not Colt McCoy or Daniel Jones is starting. But I don't know if it'll be a blowout quite to this degree. What's the weather like? That's a good question. The weather will be a big factor this weekend, I think, for a lot of games. Let's see. Looks like it's projected to be 0% of precipitation in Baltimore this weekend. 0. Wow, I was wrong. It is another beautiful weekend of football. Everything is partly cloudy, clear. The only game is cloudy is the Chargers. That's in a dome. Why do they even have that on there? Yeah, looks like Titans and Packers on Sunday night. That's going to be potentially cloudy, but everything looks pretty clear. So the weather won't be a huge factor. That actually probably helps the Giants the most, because I think the Baltimore Ravens are more situated to win a ugly game. I mean, I want to say the Giants' defense has been a lot better than typical. I want to say that they can hold them down to hold a game under 45. But I think eventually it's gonna open up. All right. Let's see. Next game up is the Bears versus the Jaguars. This game is not as pointless as possible. If the Jaguars are smart, they'll manipulate it to where they can lose, but the players are not. Sorry, I was reading your comments. Dang echo, man. I was hoping that this would fix it, but if I stand farther back, put these back in. Let's see. Sorry, JK. Let's see. I can't hear it, but I definitely don't want you guys listening to an echo. That's really bizarre too, because that's, of all the issues I've had, that's not typically been one. Alright. I can't hear myself now, but wow. That's terrible. You guys are being kind. That's terrible echo. Let me see if I can look this up real quick. All right. It says the solution: mute or stop all of your players with the stream preview, and it will get fixed. Well, how am I supposed to hear the stream? All right, we'll just carry on. Like I said, I'll look this up, look more detail up for this. This one's pretty easy too. Let's go. I think it could stay under. I think the Bears will be surprised at how good the Jaguars defense is. So let's go with that one. Falcons at Chiefs. So I said the Falcons were going to get an upset in the final 3 weeks of the season, right? It looked like they were going to pull it off right away. They've got another game against the Bucs. I don't feel confident that they're gonna do it actually now that they put it looked like they put up their best fight, and then even without Julio Jones, I just don't see them doing this one. But who knows, man? Like, they're just such a weird team. It seems like the teams with a really good pass rush shut them down pretty easily. Chiefs don't have a great pass rush, so I could see it being a little bit closer than the 10.5. But ultimately, how do you pick against the Chiefs, you know? All right, Colts versus Steelers. What do I have for this? The Steelers, they are a mess right now with the linebacker situation. Their defense is falling apart, but it really is just the offensive line and the run blocking. I was actually really excited to see Benny Snell getting the chance to start with James Conner out. I know that they were questioning on the broadcast whether or not they sat Conner, thinking that the Bengals were going to be an easy victory. Once again, more conspiracy thoughts, but they probably did, and they probably thought that was going to make a difference. And I actually was excited to see Benny Snell in a full time without Conner taking the carries from him, but he couldn't get going early enough. They're trying to be too pass heavy. I've mentioned this before. I actually do think that the Colts, it's funny that they're favored. I guess when you lose 3 straight, you know what? So I made this decision weeks ago when looking at the schedule. I was like, oh, I'm definitely picking the Colts as an upset in that game because I like their defense. I just think that they're a really well-coached team. But now I kind of think that, I don't know if the Steelers lose 4 straight. Like, they are struggling, but can they get things right in a jiff? I don't know if this is the defense to right your wrongs. So let's go ahead and stick with the Colts pulling the upset here. It's weird. I don't know why they put these all on a line, like as if the over/under is related to these teams, because I think if it's under 45 points, it favors the Colts. If it's over 45, it favors the Steelers, because that means the Steelers were able to put some points up, and if they get their offense clicking again, then I think that they can flip things around. But Ben Roethlisberger, I've heard that he might be hurt, he might not. He just looks washed. The fact that this guy even has the nerve to come out and say that he might come back again next year, I don't want that salary on my cap, man. So Colts win that one. Browns at Jets. Let's go with the Browns here. They've definitely got things opened up now to potentially. They will be rooting hard for the Colts in that one. They have potential to win the AFC North now, so they need to win out. They've got a game against, I think it's week 17. Yeah, obviously it would be, right? Because it's 16. It's week 17 they play the Steelers, so that's going to be for the division title. But yeah, I think that they probably wax the Jets. The Jets can, everybody on that team can now take a big deep breath and relax that they did what they needed to do. They're not going to be winless, and that's pretty much it. So Frank Gore can retire easy now. Once again, not paid, not promoted. Devil's Backbone, Virginia beer, clutch. It's the holiday. It's Christmas Eve. All right. Here we go. Bengals. Let's see. Texans. Neither of these teams should want this win, but I think that the Texans are going to want it a lot more. Oh man, but the Bengals, that was super, super impressive. Of course, I was dealing with the literal shitstorm in my house that night and that day. And so I didn't actually even get to see the first few minutes of the game. I was so wrapped up in cleaning up this mess and trying to get a plumber out here to fix our pipes that I didn't even realize it was Monday that day, to be honest. And all of a sudden I got an alert about the Bengals going up, and I'm like, I totally forgot that there was even a game. This week's been just nuts. I was really impressed though with Ryan Finley. That was one of the notes that I took down here, because I remember studying him for the draft and watching him as an ACC guy, against UVA and stuff a lot. And my criticism here was that I was gonna hate on the NC State training program because Ryan Finley was a statue there, and all of a sudden he's out here busting big runs. I know that was probably a surprise part of the game plan to take catch the Steelers off guard, and it worked because nobody expected him to run, and it was impressive. So it was just a good game overall by them, and yeah. What else we got on that game? That's it, really. I mean, this game should be pretty easy for the Texans to win. Once again, another team that can probably take a big sigh of relief and knowing that they won another game. That was their Super Bowl, right? That was their whole season. So I think the Texans win that one. I think it could be relatively high scoring if the Bengals come out with as focused of a game plan. How's that echo, by the way? Somebody let me know real quick. Yes, you guys are spoiling the game of the week. I can't wait to get to that Sunday night game. But Broncos Chargers, we'll try to run through this because I want to get to the other stuff too. And some of these games are quite pointless, like this one. Let's see. I mean, this one does seem like it would be easy, but this is such a hot and cold team that I just don't really even know. And Drew Lock is trying to save his spot as the Broncos starting quarterback, so I think that we're going to go with a close one here. Maybe defensive heavy. No, Broncos defense isn't what it was earlier in the year, so I'll go with the Chargers, but I think that the Broncos could potentially upset or cover the spread here. Panthers at Washington Football Team, the old Ron Rivera game here. This one will be interesting. One of the takeaways from my mock draft, the biggest takeaway that I had, is that I went into the year not that high on Teddy Bridgewater. I remember thinking that they were going to be the number 2 pick, easy behind. Who do we think was going to be the worst team? The Bengals or no? I feel like we thought the Jets were going to be pretty bad. Alex Smith is going to be back this week. Bruno coming through with the clutch feedback. That'd be pretty quick turnaround. But how about old Dwayne Haskins, man? Like, that's just unreal, dude. Like, the kid's he's like a child. Like what was that movie back in the old '90s movie? Where that kid gets like a blank check, or whatever. It might be called blank check or something like that. He gets like a blank check and writes it out for just $1 million, and he spends $1 million in like a week. Like, that's literally what Dwayne Haskins is doing right now. His stripper girlfriend or whatever, throwing hotel parties. But of course, everything I see stripped of his captaincy. That's pretty bold, but absolutely plans on playing versus the Panthers. So, I mean, they're a better team. I think that everybody will be ready to focus and lock in, and they're all probably embarrassed by Haskins putting them in the headlines this week for all the wrong reasons. I'm going to go with, I feel like it's not the Ron Rivera game for the Panthers due to the fact that there are so many new players on that team. They have flipped that roster so deeply that will those players have that extra little bit of motivation to beat them? I just don't think so. I think that they end up shutting them down. But yeah, Teddy Bridgewater has not been playing all that great, but man, I didn't realize that there was that much vitriol for him among Panthers fans. Like, it's pretty wild. I think that you're getting what you paid for. He's not, not a top level quarterback. Never was, never will be. But you got him on a pretty good deal. He's missing Christian McCaffrey all season long. He has been a freaking warrior. But another first through third quarterback, Don't put the game on his. Don't ask him to win the game for you because it's not really in his wheelhouse. Let's see, Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys are really gonna do this to me, right? They're gonna play with, well, yeah, because these two games are at the same time, right? The Panthers, the Washington game, and the Cowboys Eagles. So these are at the same time. If the Cowboys win this one, they could potentially beat the Giants next week we'll go over that in a second, for a playoff spot, which is insane. I don't want it to happen. Give me some more Jalen Hurts. I'll watch him. I'll take the win if it comes. I don't want it. I'd love to see a high-scoring game, and it probably will be. We can't stop anybody. All right, Rams at Seahawks. The Rams aren't that bad. They lost to the Jets. Everybody has a week where they come in unprepared. If we were criticizing teams like that, or if we held that against teams to that degree, like, the Saints, who had the big upset earlier this year? I'm just not going to hold that one game against them that badly. I think that they're still a pretty good team. I do, however, think that the Seahawks are getting back on track and that things are looking a lot better for them. But I don't think that the Rams are as bad as losing to the Jets makes people think of them as. Will their season be somewhat defined by that if they don't do something in the playoffs? Probably. But I don't think that this game is as important. I think it is pretty important for the Seahawks. They don't have the defense that's going to travel. They need a home game in the playoff if they're going to win a playoff game. Even though home field does not really seem to be making that big of a difference these days. All right. Let's see, just a little. All right, Titans, Packers. This is the game of the week. Packers run defense. Have they been as bad as they were? That's what I would like to know. They were terrible, and I probably would have easily picked the Titans in this. And I'm spoiler alert, I'm gonna go with the Titans. I guess that's technically an upset. I just don't believe in the Packers. I believe in Aaron Rodgers this year. He's definitely looking a lot better in Matt DeFlowers' offense. Seems to be respecting it. There's no clips of him saying, that infamous one of him looking over at Mike McCarthy being like, that's a dumb fucking call. Not yet, at least. And this is actually the old Matt LaFleur game. He was the Titans' offensive coordinator when they had Mariota, right? It was the year before they got Tannehill. And I always thought it was weird that he got a head coaching job based off of that because they did not do well. I think this game could be really close. I think it could be high scoring. Where are my defensive rankings here? I love old Football Outsiders, but it looks like they put this behind a paywall. Yeah. Oh, cool, guys. When did you do that? All right. Well, that's not going to answer for me, but I think the Packers defense is just not going to be able to stop the running game. I saw the splits from Derrick Henry before Ryan Tannehill and after Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill doesn't get the credit that he deserves for being a mobile quarterback and whatnot. But a mobile quarterback opens things up for your running game so much. And he is definitely part of their success. We're gonna go over my fantasy team in the championship here too, and we're done. I actually started Ryan Tannehill last week, and it paid off big time. Who knows if they have a come down to earth moment this week? It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know if the Packers defense is up for what they're about to encounter here. All right, and Monday, Bills versus Patriots. Man, I'm having a hard time not picking the Bills to pull the upset in my playoff predictions, but I mean they're on fire right now. They're really good. It's gonna be hard to pick against them, but this is the type of game that Belichick will pull through and win. This meaningless ass game. Just like they're already knocked out of the playoffs. Like it's a wrap, but they're gonna end up probably winning this game. Watch. I'm still gonna pick against them, but watch them pull it off because Belichick's just a troll. All right, let's submit those picks. Let's go to the pigskin pick'em here. Make sure we got all those lined up. Let's see, we went Bucks, we went Cardinals. Let's switch this back to Dolphins, Chiefs, Bears, Texans, Browns, Steelers, Ravens, Chargers. Ooh, okay, Chargers, Washington. Let's go with the Eagles, Titans, Bills. Bam. It's safer only picking the Bills, so yeah, that's kind of what these picks are. Like, you go with you can try and make the risky pick if you're trying to make a comeback. I'm not trying to come back as much at this point. I'm just trying to get things right and to have some fun picking them. Let's do a recap real quick, then we're going to run through these playoff scenarios. This is what I'm actually pretty excited to do. Yeah. Alright, so let's go to week 15 here. Let's see. Matt O'Connor, King Dope 88, Paprika Worst, and DJ Ruff, Tim Scott, Naturo, not your average Pat, ESPN fan, Pick Until a Nosebleed, that's a pretty awesome name, Jared Peterson 99. So I even write these down when I'm recording these videos so that I don't say Naturo average Pat, not your average Pat. All of these guys had 13 picks. We had 9 guys tied for first. That's a lot. So nice work for you guys. Let's see, I had right underneath you. Let's go to the total, and we've got. First of all, look at it's not over here anymore. The overall leaders are insane. They have 160 something, even with us taking a week out. Not even close to that. We got old Niner Gang and Furpo. This looks like the exact same top 3 from last week, right? I could be wrong. But really, 2 weeks to go, three or four picks or so. Let's see, any of these guys could potentially win. I'm gonna say anybody below the 6th seed here, the 6th ranked picks. Anybody below that probably isn't going to make up the difference in the last 2 weeks. I could be wrong, but these 3 guys up here have definitely been hanging out for a while. So nice work to you guys. Playoff scenarios. Let's do that now. Now we have to put all these picks in again, and it's so fun. Colts. Did I do Colts in this? I'm not sure. Nope. Alright, let's get out of here. My picks have been submitted. Cool. Let's share them. So, like I said, this is a cool website, tally site. You guys can get on there, make your own thing if you'd like. And Oh, all right. I'll have to tweak this so that I have a little bit more depth on the screen here for you guys to see the bottom parts of these of my screen, because it's quite a bit chopped off. There we go. All right, at least you can see it. We got Texans, Bills, Chiefs, Bears, Ravens, Titans, Cardinals, football team, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Eagles. All right. So that is week 16, right? Let's just go with the favorites here for Armball. You can't hear me now? I guess let me look at these real quick. Make sure I haven't missed any questions, you guys. Oh man, that sucks though about your picks, Armball. That's weird. Alright. Doesn't look like you guys had any questions so far. How do you get the art? Which art are you talking about? Okay, cool. Let's go with the favorites here. This is kind of a tough one. And it looks like it probably will... No, it doesn't sway the division. So, if the Patriots... That's the biggest thing with the Patriots game. They could potentially... No, I thought they already won that. Yeah, they already won the division, right? Yeah, so... This has nothing to do with that, right? Yeah. Alright. Can you guys see all of them? Cool. This is, once again, this is going to be a divisional championship game, basically. Will the Steelers close out the season with 5 straight losses? That would be quite an epic collapse. I just don't see it. I don't see that happening. I think they'll get it together at some point. What if they win and the Steelers win this week? The Steelers would still lock up the division. So that's why I'm so uncomfortable with this game as the upset now, because it is so crucial and because the Steelers could basically wrap up the division if they win. So I'm gonna go with we'll keep it the way it is for the picks, and I'll say that the Steelers win. They got to win one of the two, right? I think they do. I think that they'll win one of the two. So keep on handing out upsets here. Oh, this is fun. This actually doesn't matter. So I mentioned in my mock that I felt like this game, if the Patriots were I get the I use Jiffy, Giphy. I use them for everything, man. It's just, you know, I don't know. There's a ton of GIF websites, but I think that's what you're talking about. The art for my face. But yeah, let's see. Texans, Titans, Raiders probably win that. Ooh, maybe not. Sunday night. Oh, Sunday afternoon. This is a big one too. Bears could potentially sneak in the playoffs with a win there. Buccaneers. Let's go football team. Let's go Giants at home. Vikings probably the favorites there. Seahawks, Rams. All right. So these would probably be the D'Angelo, you hope so, man. What is it? The Cardinals have to. Oh, okay. So for the Bears to sneak in, the Cardinals have to lose some games, right? Yeah, the Cardinals can't keep winning like that. That's really the only opportunity that they have now, right? Because the football team, NFC East, is going to send somebody in. So what if Jalen? This is the way that Jalen Hurts makes it in, or this is the way that Jalen Hurts turns things around. Say the Cowboys win, the Giants sneak in. Say the Cowboys win out, and the Washington, man, I still want to call them the R word, but it's tough. The football team is pretty much going to lock things up if they win this week, though. So And the playoff, I want to do playoff predictions, but man, it is a challenge this year with the extra seeds in here. What's my dog barking at? So this is what it would look like if the favorites win, like I have in week 17, right? I mean, you guys agree those are pretty much favorites? Maybe the Giants. I want them to win just so that we can stay here. Because look at this. We go from 6 to 10. See that? But they go from 7 to 11. So both of these teams are not going to want to win that game. See you later, Armball. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, anything, let me know real quick in the chat if there's anything on this week 17 that you'd like to see me tweak or change to adjust the playoffs and the rankings and standings and stuff. I mean, I think it looks pretty good and predictable. I think it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't really even matter, man. Yeah, Washington can lock it up. The Titans are pretty close. So if the Titans lose this week, where are they at? They lose. And the Colts. See the Colts. That's why that's such a big game too. So the AFC South is still up for grabs. Dolphins. Oh, the Bills could win. You're right. Let's see. If the Bills rest, because they got it locked up. Ooh, that's a matter of them. Oh man, we really are gonna have to choose between the Dolphins or one of these AFC North teams here, which kind of stinks because I feel like they all deserve it. But that would be so Cleveland-y of them to make it to 11-5, be up for grabs here. Or, I mean, who knows? Ravens might. Yeah. That sucks for them, man. It's a tight squeeze over there in the AFC. I think you're right, though, about this. The Dolphins could end up squeaking in because of the fact that the Bills, this is a meaningless game for the Bills. Let's see. Yeah, Jared, I wouldn't want to play them a third time either. The Rams are going to be a good playoff team because of that defense. Yeah, is that Izana? And scary thing is, 11-5 team over here is not going to make it, while we have an 8-8 team over here, and it's tragic. All right, are the Packers? So say the Bears pull the upset there. Okay, what did we change here? That. What was the other one? Oh, the Cardinals. That's right. With the Cardinals. Yeah, the Cardinals are probably going to beat the 49ers. So this game right here would be pretty crucial for them, whereas it wouldn't be as crucial for the Rams. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty wild. And the Packers might... Oh, no, it's still a pretty big game for the Packers because they want that 1 seed. I do like what this new playoff setup has done for the seeding, because now the 1 seed is, like, really important. It's number 1. Now it's not, oh, but, you know, we can get number 2 and then hope that a wild card team comes in and beats the 1 seed, and then we have a home championship game, playoff game. I do like that. But that's... Who gets it if they pull? Okay, the Saints get it then if the Bears pull the upset here. Saints, they should easily beat the Vikings. So the Saints should finish the season 2-0 here. And that's going to be the difference between a home playoff game. But, yeah, it's looking pretty easy for the Packers here. I'm going to grab another beer here real quick. Yeah, see how we do. Cowboys Man Cave. We got the Cowboys bottle opener too. It's Christmas time. 2 beers before lunch won't hurt anybody, right? All right. Anything else here? Hope for a 3-way tie. Oh God. I hope not. All right. Let's go on to the playoffs then. Look at these potential matchups. Did I clean this up? Is this the way that it should be? Yeah, I think so. All right. This will be an interesting one. Man, I just don't trust old Phillip Rivers in the Eric. Dolphins versus Bills. We did go over that briefly. For this one right here, we're thinking that the Dolphins might pull that one off, and I like to project these. I like to project the teams resting their starters and stuff because it happens every year. It's somewhat predictable, especially at this point. And I think that was a great point that the Bills, this is meaningless for them. And they will have some familiarity with this team, a lot of familiarity with this team. Would they prefer them make it into the playoffs than the Ravens? I think the Bills would probably prefer to see the Dolphins in the playoffs than the Ravens, right? So I mean that's gonna determine their matchup. So that's pretty big. It's wild. We're gonna end up probably seeing Bills Dolphins 2 weeks in a row. Then it looks like, and I think that they're gonna do that so that they. Oh wow, and we're potentially see the Steelers 2 weeks in a row. Who was that last Colts game? Yeah, no. I think that the Titans are. I don't like Phil Rivers in the playoffs. It sucks because he's such a warrior. I wish that he had a better sort of end of career or better narrative to his career other than tearing his ACL. But he took some of the best teams in history, both LaDainian Tomlinson and stuff, and they did absolutely nothing. So it's kind of sad. They also had to deal with the Patriots. Patriots are responsible for shortening or lessening a lot of AFC careers because of their dominance, and then Peyton Manning and the Colts at that time too. So poor Phillip Rivers fell behind the wayside there. Let's see. This one right here is tough. I don't like the Buccaneers against this front seven. I don't like the Buccaneers outside in somewhat coldish, rainy, potentially snowy weather. But I don't know if I trust Alex Smith and that offense to really do much in the playoffs against when it's all on the line. This would be a scary matchup for them, and I do think that the Rams are not who the Seahawks want to see, but I do think that the Seahawks are turning things around. They had like a real midseason lull there, but hopefully they get things back on track because they're an exciting offense. And then the Cardinals, they're just happy to be here. Saints win that one. All right. So let me know what you guys think about this. I had an idea. I didn't get to do playoff prediction video particularly this week. I'm going to do it next week for sure. All the bells and whistles, right? I'm thinking about doing one and making it where it's a non-Chiefs Super Bowl winning version. All right, so there's got to be a scenario where the Chiefs lose. Just a head-to-head, straight up. Brandon, I think that I not only think that it's so likely that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl if everybody stays healthy and whatnot. I think that everybody's going to be saying that. I think that every single playoff prediction, article, video, tweet, Facebook post, everything that you see is going to have, unless it's from a fan of one of these final 8 teams or so, it's going to be the Chiefs probably. Any neutral fan is going to be like, oh, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, yada, yada. So I'm thinking about doing the video where I put away the Chiefs somehow. Do they lose this game? Probably not. Do they lose against the Bills? That's probably what the scenario would be. Let me know if you guys think that I should do that or if I should just stick to what my gut thinks, stick with the Chiefs and make it as generic and kind of consistent with everybody else's opinions and thoughts like that. Here we go. We're going to have Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in a playoff game. I think they can win one. I think if they're going to get a matchup where they could win, it would be probably this one. And I think that we're going to go with the Saints here because the NFL wants that to happen. All right, so I think that this could happen. I think that the Bills could upset the Chiefs for a few quarters at least. I honestly, I think that they're just too good. I think Patrick Mahomes is just too good. This is like probably one of my worst nightmares as far as NFC championships go. I just can't tell you how much I don't really want to see that matchup. I don't want to see the Saints. I want to see the Saints somehow. If they're in the NFC championship game, I want it to be because of this. I want it like that. I don't think that they are going to go into Lambeau in December or January and win. And I definitely don't want this as a Super Bowl. Blech. So, but I could see this being a scenario. This is probably yeah, Bruno, I don't actually think that this is going to happen. I'm trying to make I'm seeing what you guys think of a non-Chiefs version. Is it worth it to pick the one team that I think could probably end up beating? I mean, I think the Titans could, but I don't think that they will. I think the Bills could, but I don't think they will. But I think the Bills have a better opportunity, have the best opportunity of all of these other teams, because this is just too easy. It's like, oh, I remember my first March Madness bracket where I just picked all the 1 seeds to the Final Four. Like, that's boring. Or do you want to hear me in a playoff breakdown video with a prepared, speech, or whatever, breaking down the areas where I think that this could not be the outcome, because this is a somewhat boring outcome, right? For the average, unbiased fan. Like, this is somewhat of a boring outcome. Allen cracks under pressure. I guess I could see that. I could see that in this scenario, especially because the Bills lost last year because they cracked. So I'll give you that. They definitely had that game in Houston wrapped up, and they just fumbled it. Titans are a one-trick pony, bro. Let's look at my fantasy squad in the finals here. So this is a keeper league that I'm in. Apologize if you guys don't care, but we're gonna talk about some football. You guys maybe help me make some calls here. So this is I'm in the championship. This is my keeper league. I've been in for as long as I can remember, like 10 years or something like that. And we keep 5 players each year, right? My team is named the Shaun of the Dead from that movie Shaun of the Dead, which is a parody of Dawn of the Dead. So it's quite a few layers deep here. But yeah, so we keep 5 players. My keepers this year were Watson, Adams, Henry, and Zeke. Is that 4? And I think that Kenny Golladay was too, actually. Yeah, it looks like actually Zeke's gonna play this week, which I was so happy that I had old Tony Pollard ready to go. He killed it for me. But what made me think of this was your comment about them being a one-trick pony. Like, if it wasn't for Tannehill, I would have been stressing all weekend, because he came through. I mean, there are quite a few prolific days here passing with not a single game with multiple interceptions. Not a single game. If this was any other season where Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers weren't lighting things up, he'd be right there in MVP discussion. Like, this has been a solid season for Tannehill. So they're definitely not a one-trick pony. When they're right, they're one of the scarier teams in the league. I think that I saw that they are actually the most efficient offense in the league right now. So let's see. Wow, Eric. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. But yeah, so last week I benched the guy that my team is named after for this guy, for Tannehill. So Tannehill's solid. Don't slander my man Tannehill. My biggest weakness is definitely old Ty, but he's actually been coming through clutch here. So definitely pick myself to win. All right. Let's see what else we got on deck here. Questions, mock draft info, anything from you guys with that stuff? Is this the one you guys want? You guys want the accurate one? Or do we do a exclusive non-Chiefs pick'em? Man, damn it, you're right about that. Not coming through in the clutch. It would be hard for them to go one and done in the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl. You're probably like, this alone is going to be a big one for them, which they might not even win this one, to be honest. Wouldn't that be wild though? See the Browns in the championship game? It sucks because it's all roads still lead back to this, so this is just kind of what we're looking at here. Brian wants to know who your dark horse team is and why. I think that the dark horse team to win the Super Bowl would be the Titans. And, you know, say what you want, because my fantasy team here is stacked with them. I think that they have the best non-quarterback offensive player in the league right now. And the quarterback, they have a quarterback that can produce and play as well as any of the top guys at any given time. So I think the Titans are my dark horse, and they've got the coaching, the swagger, the pass rush though is the only thing for them. They've got to find a way to manifest some pressure on quarterbacks, and they can't. Eric, thanks for joining. Thanks for your hot takes. Appreciate it. Now, if I can figure out how to get this chat, so it wasn't quite all the way at the bottom. There we go. Yeah, ball don't lie. I think we've seen that. The Chiefs have been playing with fire, man. They've been playing way too many close games, and almost welcoming the other team to get hype to potentially knock them off. Because not only are they the reigning champs, they're clearly the best team, clearly the best player. If you give any team the chance or the belief that they have, an opportunity to knock you off, you're going to get their best bet. And I think that the Saints game was a prime example of that. They should have put that game away, and they didn't. So Avery Fleming, I'd like to do some stuff like that. I don't know if YouTube is the forum for those types of videos. I feel like I really want to explore the old TikTok opportunities, and kind of see if I can find like a marriage between YouTube and TikTok. YouTube's trying to increase their like vertical videos or whatever, with these things called shorts. People, I'm sure some of you guys have seen them. People have made like separate accounts and stuff just for those. I'm not going to do that. I don't want you guys to have to subscribe to multiple accounts on the same platform. I would just upload them on here if they did well. But yeah, if I did that kind of stuff on lesser known prospects, I would like to do them on a different platform where they could get a little bit more traction. Whereas like on YouTube, they're probably not going to get as much. But yeah, Andy Reid is a much better coach than the Saints. I don't know if I'd say that. Sean Payton's a pretty good coach. Goff can't even make it to half court. Yeah, you're right. It does only take one bad game, and that's why I want to make one where they don't make it through. I don't see the competition in the AFC as tight as this is. not a lot of top level teams that I think that are gonna knock them off. Like when it's winner take all, when it's winner goes or loser goes home type of stuff. Like, I mean, you'll see it every single time the Chiefs are struggling to get the ball moving. They call the old play action rollout with Mahomes, and he's just such a quality athlete with a quality arm that it's damn near impossible to stop. And the receivers are so good and fast, it's just ridiculous. Slam Donkey wants to know who the MVP is. It's probably Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. It's hard, though, with Aaron Rodgers because he's got Devontae Adams, who's playing on another level, but you could argue that Tyreek Hill plays on another level. I just don't know if it really is tough. I feel like we haven't seen a 1-2 MVP race like this for a long time. But I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers gets it as like a career achievement award thing. How many MVPs has he won? It's only one, right? Oh, 2 MVPs. Okay, 2014 and 2011. So, yeah, I could see him getting that third one. Mahomes has got plenty of time to win some more, but I think it's got to be Aaron Rodgers, honestly, as much as that pains me to say. Do you think the Saints could trade Michael Thomas this season? They're like $80 million under the cap? You mean over the cap? And they can't trade him this season, obviously, but in the offseason they could. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. I wouldn't, because he's so good, and you're going to have a new quarterback next year. And so you're going to want a good possession guy like that can take a load off the quarterback. I mean, but then at the same time, if you go with a Jameis Winston, or you go with a Taysom Hill, are they gonna fit the offense that you're running? Like, Jameis Winston obviously would more so, but he's gonna be wanting to throw the ball downfield more. I don't know if that's Michael Thomas's strong suit. Taysom Hill, I mean, do you want your top paid wide receiver run blocking for your quarterback all the time? Probably not. First and a third, it would probably take at least 2 firsts. Henry's the real. You know what? I would actually really like it. I hate that the MVP's become such a quarterback award, because Derrick Henry does deserve it, I think. I mean, he literally is what makes that team tick. And I would love to see non-quarterbacks get it more often. Yeah, it was Adrian Peterson, I think, was the last one to get it. I mean, that was a special hoss too, but I think Derrick Henry's not far behind him as far as their physical ability. If I was picking one in their prime one day, it's definitely gonna be Adrian Peterson. But chance of the first co-MVP since Peyton and McNair. Man, I remember that. That was when I was like really starting to get into football, like on a deep level, on like a deep like political level, like paying attention to all that kind of stuff too, like the media and stuff. Man, that feels like such a cop out, and I feel like they robbed one of those guys of a pure MVP. It's like you couldn't even pick 2 different guys in 2 different divisions. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. And if we knew how the stories were going to end, it's like, let McNair have his moment to shine or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, Bald and Loud. Love to see Jameis with Sean Payton. Bruno, who's your team? You a Titans fan? Yeah, I agree, Joey. I mean, it's almost impossible to pick against them. That's why I wanted to get you guys' feedback on whether or not my playoff video should I like frame the whole thing like I'm like, so people know going in, I'm not picking the Chiefs, but the Chiefs should be and are everyone's pick right now for good reason. Like, do you want to see my optimism of another team potentially beating them, or do you just want to see, like I said, the obvious scenario? But yeah, happy holidays, Andy. Appreciate you tuning in. This has been going on for a while now. This has been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. Let me check the sounds here. I apologize for the echo. I'm gonna have to work on that, figure out what it was that was causing that. I'm sure I did something wrong. But yeah, Chiefs fan. Yeah, I agree again, Joey. The Bills are probably the Bills and Titans are my pick to knock them off, and obviously they're the only two teams they play. But even if this is not the seeding, and you just did a random grab bag of AFC teams, and you said which one of these teams do you think would beat the Chiefs, it would be the Titans or the Bills still. If you'd asked me 3 weeks ago, I might have said the Steelers as the top option, because they were the only team with the defense to match the offense, but their linebacker situation has really depleted that defense, and then their offensive philosophy has depleted their defense's ability to be impactful also. So, yeah. Oh, Avery wants to talk draft. Zach Wilson's best fit, seeing him mocked to Carolina a lot, but I'd love to see him in Atlanta and sit a year behind Ryan like Mahomes did with Alex. Let's see. I think that the best opportunity for him would be the 49ers, which is what I mocked, because the team is stacked. The offensive philosophy is one where it's very quarterback friendly, and they make it easy for success for quarterbacks, because you don't have to. The game is not. It's a perfect situation for first through third quarterback, but is he a fourth quarter quarterback? I don't know yet. I haven't seen enough of him, enough opportunities to see him in those scenarios at this point. So yeah, the Titans almost got them last year, and they could be waiting for their redemption, man. This is pretty wild. Let's see. Let me change something up real quick in here. On week 17. What if... Sorry, week 16. What if the Steelers win this week? And take the division. Ooh, Dolphins. No, Dolphins are still in. Oh, it's the Colts now that are out. Dang. Man, it is a gauntlet over there in the AFC. But this matchup went the Browns' way that time. I think they caught them so off guard. I still think that would happen. Oh, man, I think the Dolphins could pull the upset in that one, but let's go with the favorites just to play it safe. The top seeds. So this doesn't... Oh, well, we didn't tweak any games over here. This doesn't change over here. So really, they still end up with the same matchups, because you still have the same guys winning, basically. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Playoffs should be fun this year, assuming we don't have any COVID-related breakdowns and delays and stuff like that. You know what? Sorry, Avery. Let me get back to your question about Zach Wilson, because I saw about the Panthers thing. I do think as long as Joe Brady is still there, that I would want to play for Joe Brady. Like, that makes a lot of sense. I'd want to play with Christian McCaffrey if I was a quarterback. So like, they would be a great place to go, and a great fit for him. But how long is Joe Brady going to be there? Like, he's not going to get the head coaching job this year because the Panthers offense kind of stalled out a little bit. He could still be a candidate. And it wouldn't surprise me if people interviewed him, just because they will remember him from his LSU days, and LSU being so dominant. But it will be interesting to see if how many teams legitimately are interviewing him for a head coaching position. I don't think that there will be that many, if any, this year, but another year and some improvement and stuff. Obviously, everybody's favorite punching bag in that mock draft, Teddy Bridgewater, is going to have to play better. Or, you know, if they go with a rookie quarterback or whatever, like maybe that's the scenario that they need. But Joe Brady probably won't be there for too much longer. Any other questions? Ouch. Matt Ryan should give his MVPs to Kyle Shanahan. That was wild, man. That was a wild team. That was one of my favorite. It sucks because Julio Jones' career is looks like it's gonna end on such a downer. You know, like he's just hurt every other year, plays half of the season. It sucks. I really wish that the Falcons could have won that game, but Kyle Shanahan blowing Super Bowls, man. With the offensive genius comes, you know, he's not a fourth quarter quarterback himself. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to lock those games up. Kyle Shanahan is a genius, but you still got to be able to lock those games up. His record in the Super Bowl now is not good, and if and when he makes it to another one, I would be worried about the anxiety on his shoulders and the pressure to actually come through this time around because of the previous failures. So, yeah, I think that's it, guys. Anybody has any other final questions? Here, I'll show the picks for this week once more. This was fun. Yeah, appreciate you guys showing up. Let me know what you guys think about this kind of format. Like I said, I'd love to do a much more elaborate version of this in the future next year, where I have the graphics and stuff that I use for my usual videos, but I have them plugged in, ready to go. It would require me to do a lot more sort of producing on the fly, like hitting the right buttons at the right time and doing all that stuff. So it would require me getting a little bit more practice, but it would be a lot of fun. Interacting with you guys at the end and throughout the video would be fun too. Yeah, make sure you make your picks. Merry Christmas. Appreciate everybody tuning in, joining in with the chat and stuff like that. Last question real quick here, old Blurpy. I love that name. Pats trade for Stafford? Maybe. It's funny, there's so much talk about them having interest in Andy Dalton going into this year before they got Cam. And, man, that would be terrible. Seeing Andy Dalton again, I mean, he's just not that good, but maybe he would be a better fit because Cam just looks uncomfortable, man. Even just his release is just, it looks forced. It looks like a guy that has never thrown like, it didn't look like that before. We would have made fun of him for it. I know that we would have. Like, he's got like a weirder release now, like a Vince Young, Vince Young on crack throw. Like, it's weird. Like the way it comes out of his arm is uncomfortable. I think he might be washed. I know he wants to come back, but I think he might be washed. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm gonna sign off of here. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'll see you all in the next video.